Good evening, everyone. This is Robert. RJL Networks presents a special presentation here of a few spoilers that I've been kind of teasing the last couple of times. All right, pretty much playing inside pitch. This is going to be a quick. Going to be a quick video of changes that Chris Davis, the creator of Inside Pitch, is going to make, to the charts. So for those of you who are playing Inside Pitch now, version 3, and of course, a few years ago, he said version 3 was going to be the last version he was going to do. Well, he got the bug to create version 4. So we have version 4 of Inside Pitch that I'm going to show you some of the changes that have been made. Some of them are substantial. These are not available at this moment to the normal customers. Only me and a couple of others have access to the new charts. And please do not ask for copies or anything. This is a beta in progress. He is still working on them. But I am going to start utilizing this version starting in my streams. So for those of you who are going to go ahead and see what's going to happen, tonight I'm just going to show you real quick in this video some of the changes that have been made. He is still working on them. Yes, Brian B., we have a version 4. It is not official yet. It is in beta mode. So far, he has only updated the charts. I do not know what else he's going to do to anything else, but he did tell me that I do now have permission to introduce version 4 to you guys. You guys that still have version 3, you got to play version 3. Version 4 is not available yet, but only me and a couple people do have access to the beta for version 4. There is a few nuances to it, so I'm going to go ahead and show you. I'm going to show you a little bit what the changes will be. So first off, this is the version 3 chart that we all know and love at this moment. Okay. Don't ask me why he's doing. He got the bug. He got the bug literally to get the game done. And just try to go ahead and make it better. He wants to make the game better. He went through some information with some of his results and his systems, and he wants to make the game better. Now, as I said at this moment, version 4 is not available yet. It is only available in beta. Not only me, and actually I'll tell you the other person who has it is Baseball Demos, since we are the two people that really play Inside Pitch. He is not done with this yet. Okay, he is still working on it, still going through his calculations and such. But right now, he has given me permission to show you some of the changes that are being made, in Inside Pitch. I will also start using version 4 in the beta modes as I start playing my games, starting tonight with the game between the Mets and the Reds. So even I got to relearn a couple of things here. But this is what he says will now make the game a little bit more easier, I think he says, and a little bit more realistic in terms of certain things. So here I have is, of course, the version 3 chart. This is the version 4 charts, and this here, is the chart that will show the differences of the differences between the two games. This is not I don't want this to be a long video. I just want to show what we're going to see coming up here. All right. I don't want this to be long because I'm still going to play, starting about 7:30 tonight. First things are changes that are not going to be made. He is not making changes to the strategy roles. He is not making strength changes to stealing. He's not changing ratings to hit and run and all this stuff. He's not going to change anything to this or that. So you don't have to worry about changes to the strategy roles. There is, however, a change to the bunting. As you know, we'll start here. As you know, the bunt chart, is regular for the regular side and the pitcher side. And he went 10 to 19, 12 to 19, 14 to 19, 16 to 19, and 18 to 19. This is version 3. Version 4 will now have pitchers at 6 to 19, which pretty much means if you want to bunt with your pitcher, you don't have to. If you intend to roll, if you intend um, to go ahead and you want to bunt with your pitcher, you don't have to. You don't have to roll a 10 or higher to bunt with your pitcher if you're using the strategy roll. Now it's going to be pretty much an automatic 6 to 19. However, the overlap will take precedence over hit and run and stolen bases. Okay, so if you have a stolen base, if the attempt rating of a runner is 5, and you add and the on the base runner his attempt is 5, the attempt on the pitcher is like set is +2, so it's 7. You're still going to do the normal strategy rolls following here. But now it's going to be 6 to 19 for pitchers. It will no longer be 10 to 19 or anything here. Okay. But yes, you bunt with the pitchers when you want anyway. This is just something now. Well, if I use this for people that utilize the strategy roll hard and fast, okay, you can now bunt with your pitcher pretty much automatically, which I do anyway. Okay. So that is the first change on the chart. Yes, he made changes to the runner advance modifications, but a slight change, not a couple of slight changes. Okay. As you know, the runner advance chart has on hits in the infield 2 to 6, 3 to 6, 4 to 6, 5 to 6, and 6, of course. He did not make any changes there. He did, however, make changes from second to home. So now, if you look at the chart here, you will see that you'll see the original chart is 4 to 6, 2 to 6, 1 to 6, 3 to 6, 5 to 6. So pretty much a base hit up the middle automatically brought home a runner from second. Okay. And if you're from second base, you had to have at least a speed of 5 or 6 to score from second to home. This is no longer the case. It is now version 4. Now it is. I'll show you the difference between the two. So now version 4. And you can't really see in this light. Dang it. I'll use this one instead. Here's a version 4. So 4 to 6 is still the same, but 2 to 6 to score from second on a ball hit past second base is now changed to 3. So now you must have a base running rating of 3 to score from second on a base hit past second base. No longer a base running rating of 2. This, of course, doesn't include the two outs. It used to be 1 to 6 to score. So if you had a base runner at second and you hit a ball past the pitcher, it was an automatic score. Not anymore. Now you have to have at least a base running rating of 2. Okay, now, of course, if you have a base running rating of 1 at second base, but it's 2 outs, yes, he will score. But now it's got to be at least a 2. 3 to 6, this hasn't changed, okay, on base hits past short. But now you don't have to be as fast to score second to home on a base hit past third. You had to be at least a 5. It is now down to 4. So now a 4+ runner from second to home will score on a base hit past third automatically. You don't have to be a 5 anymore. So now this probably will increase the amount of runs a little bit, but this is what you're going to get now with speed. So now instead of 4, 2, 1, 3, and 5, it is now 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. So that is now what you're going to have on second. Everything else stayed the same from S1, S4, S1, S. He was thinking of changing this. He left it alone. All right. As I said, these are changes that can happen, and there's still a work in progress. Now, another change he made was to the outfielder arms. Now, usually on the old chart, you had a 2 to 6, 3 to 6, 4 to 6, 5 to 6, and a 6 to 6 was all runners hold. Now it is 3 to 6, 4 to 6, 5 to 6, 6 to 6, and if an outfielder has an outfielder arm rating of -2, and you roll a 6, there's going to be an automatic play. There's going to be an automatic play with a base running with an arm rating of 2. You're going to see a few more throwouts now with this. You're going to see a little bit more assists from the outfield. Okay, so instead of a 6, all runners hold. If it's a 1 to 6 and a 6 comes up, there's going to pretty much automatically be a play. It doesn't mean there's going to be an automatic out, because you can still have to roll. All right, to see if if it's going to be an out, it's going to be an automatic play because it still follows the 2 to 5 lead runner thrown out, or the 1 lead runner advances, ball caught off, and the trailing runner is thrown out. Okay, so that's going to be a change in the arm rating. So now you're going to see a few more assists from the outfield. And if you're going on a guy that's got a -2 arm and a 6 comes up, it's really automatically going to be a play. All right. If he has a -2 arm, all right, and you'll automatically roll to see what's going to happen if you're automatically going to go to this chart right here, the OTC roll 3 chart. Okay. So this is what you're going to see so far in the arm ratings. Now we did change something in the runner advance mod here. Now from S7. Now if you notice, the original was -2, -1, and +2. He has now changed that to -2, -1, and 0. Everything else is the same: 1 2 1, 1 2 1, 1 1 1, and 1 1 1. But now it's no longer a +2 on a ball hit to right. Now it is just a 0 on a ball hit to right. Okay, to get from first to third. Okay, so apparently you may not see as many base runners get from first to third automatically, depending on what the base running is. So of course I have to change my card. So I've already done that here. So now balls hit the right field now have a change here instead of the original one, which is what that was. So I've already written that up. So, and of course you can still use your base running card. Okay, for the to write that up. So far we do have some changes to the rear and to here. Now we have another change, is sacrifice flies. Sacrifice flies, he said he was not getting enough sacrifice flies because most players, have a sacrifice fly rating of 1 or 2. There are not that many sacrifice fly rolls. Okay, he got sacrifice flies. They can still score, but he wasn't getting enough sacrifice flies from the sacrifice fly rating of the batter card. So he has added a new modification. We now have sacrifice fly modifications here. So now when you roll for the SF, not the roll if it doesn't pass. So now when you roll on a sacrifice fly, if it's hit to left field, you're going to add 1. Hit to center field, add 2, and add 1 to right. And unfortunately, they're not available right now, Mo. Only 2 people right now have these. Only a few people have these charts. We're beta testing them, and he does not want to release them as of yet. So right now, this is just going to we're going to be doing some beta testing as I'm playing now. So they're not available, Mo. All right. So. All right, but they will be. Don't worry. He's working on them. But now you're going to have sacrifice flies modifications to left, center, right. So now if you have a sacrifice fly to center field and the batter's sacrifice fly rating is a 1, you're now going to add +2 to that. And now you roll to see if it's a 3 or lower, he still scores. If these don't work, you go to the original way. So if he still doesn't score, then you of course roll the base running rating of the runner at third and the arm rating of the outfielder to see if he still tries to go and see if there's a play at the plate. Okay, so that's what you're going to have on sacrifice flies. So you're going to get some more sacrifice flies now with runners at third. You should get some more. Remember, he is changing these. He has been doing tests and tests, but now he said to me, Robert, go ahead and do it because I now got to see this in a game in games. All right, and now, of course, since I do a game every night, he'll go ahead and do that. We're not done. We are not done yet, Brian B. We got another change. This one is a big one. This is a big one. As you know, everyone has issues a little bit with the double plays. You have back, you have the double play depth and all this stuff here and all of this. Okay. So everyone's saying you got to go to double play depth and all that stuff. And, and then of course, you add the 1 to double play depth and such. Okay. No longer. The new chart has removed the double play depth. So here is what's going to happen now. Here's what's going to happen. A ball hit to third with a runner on first, or first and second, or any chance of a double play, first and third, whatever. Runners at third base. If the ball is hit to third, shortstop, or second, you automatically add one for a double play chance. You're no longer putting the team into double play depth. And what does that do? No more range modification on that. So now if you look here, you get closer, you see range. No change, no change, no change, no change. You will no longer subtract one from a range play if the team is at any point, even if it's a ground out with that, if it's not infield in. The only thing he's doing now is infield normal and infield in. Infield in still gets the -2 range. You still can't try a double play. And the only double play you could try is home to first. You will no longer have to do a -1 on range plays. So if the fielder's range is a 4 and it's hit to the shortstop, you got a runner on first, you roll a range play, you no longer have to subtract 1. It's now his range stays where it is. You no longer subtract range plays. It's an automatic, double play. But when it's hit to first, remember, you don't get the +1 when it's hit to first. And remember, the base runner rating on first doesn't get the change to his base running rating. Which kind of what that will do is that'll eliminate some 3-6-3 double plays. All right, that'll take away some of those. All right, your base runner on third still has the +2 hit the normal and such, and -2 base runner on third. It's hit to the pitcher or the catcher. So you no longer have to do a range play. You no longer have double play depth. You're either back or you're in, because he figures you're automatically going to be a double play depth like I always did. So you no longer really have to call for it. All right. Of course, the way I do it for a while, I'll still be doing it, but you no longer have to do it. So there's no longer a range play subtraction when a ball is on double play depth. Double play depth doesn't, all that does, you add 1 to the double play chance, with the batter, the pitcher, and of course, +1 here. And that's all you got to do. It's automatic now. There's no longer double play depth. Which means he also took away, I believe, and now, of course, you can still have corners in and stuff like that for bunts if you're expecting a bunt. So right now there is no changes, to range. All right. Not baseball, David Vega. You're coming a little bit late. This is a version 4 look at inside pitch, still in beta mode. So that's a huge change. There's no more double play depth. You no longer have to worry about adding 1 to double play depth. If it's hit to the shortstop, third or second, it's an automatic +1. If it's hit to the first baseman, there is none there. There is no addition with the runner at first because he's holding the runner at first usually. No, I'll have a game tonight, David. I'm still having a game in about an hour. I'm still having a game. This was something I needed to tell you guys because I plan to use this system starting tonight. And you guys might be saying, what in the world is he doing? I'm showing you what is going to be changing here. So about an hour, I'll start the Mets and the Reds tonight. But I'm now going to try to use version 4 as a beta test. This is all beta. It's not available. Please don't ask him for the new charts or anything like that. And you can't ask me. He told me I'm allowed to show you guys it up, but he is still working on it because you can still make changes to this all the time. So that is a big change. No longer double play depth you have to call. If it's hit to third, short, or second, it's an automatic +1 to the double play. That's all you got to do right there. That is a big change. We are still not done. So that pretty much is the changes on the front of the sheet. As you can see here on the front, as you see DP halfway, he removed it. This is a sheet that shows me exactly what he, what he's done. Well, what about the back? Well, he did work on the back. So the back has been changed. Another big change. We'll start at the top. We'll start at the top with this one. Another big change. And this is a big one. Everyone has been worried about there are not that many bunts. As you see, a bunt rating of 0 is 1 to 6, 1 to 8, 1 to 10, 1 to 12, 1 to 14, 1 to 16. There are not that many bunts. Let's see. Ta-da! Now he went ahead and increased the bunt ratings. So now instead on a bunt rating now you have 1 to 18 if it's 5, 1 to 16, 1 to 15, 1 to 14, 1 to 12, and 1 to 10. So now if you have a guy with a bunt rating of 1 but becomes a 0 due to the corner being in, he still has pretty much a 50% chance to get the bunt down. So you're going to see a lot. You now have a better chance to bunt. Okay. Nothing else has been changed here with bunted too hard. He did change a few things here to raise the level a little bit. Okay. Like double play, safe, and this. Okay. But he pretty much now made it a little bit easier to bunt. So now instead of a 30% chance to lay down a bunt, the least you'll have is a 50% chance to lay down a good bunt. So now you'll have more sacrifice bunting, okay, that you can try, and you have a much better chance. The lead runner's pretty much been changed as well, 11 to 15. You notice he did make a change. He did remove the foul. If you noticed here, on this one, he had foul, 7 to 9, 9 to 10, 11 to 13, fouled off, redo attempt. He removed that. Foul is now gone. You don't worry about a foul ball now when you bunt. It's either a bunt or a lead runner is out, bunt a safe, bunted too hard, or a pop-up double play. So you'll now have a much better chance at the bunt. For the squeeze bunt, he pretty much left that alone. He left the squeeze bunt. He did not make any changes to the squeeze bunt chart. The squeeze bunt chart remains the same. He did not make any changes to the squeeze bunt. Also, the bunt fielder. On the old chart, you had 1 to 2 pitcher, 3 to 4 first, 5 third baseman, 6 catcher. That's changed. So now it is 1 to 3 to the pitcher, 4 to first, 5 to third, and 6 to the catcher. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but now you have a much better chance to get a bunt down and move your runners over, depending on the bunt rating of the pitcher or the batter, wherever. So now you have with a batter who's maybe got a bunt rating of 2, but he bunted a lot. Instead of swinging away, you can now use that bat. You now have a better chance to bunt. All right, and get a good bunt and get a good bunt down. Okay. So you now have a different chance. You now have a better chance to bunt. Next change he made. Okay, he made changes to the range plays. Now range plays are still the same. Okay, there's no change here in the range plays except for here. He was having a little problem with doubles. He figured that a 1 to 4 is a single, a 5 to 6 is a double. And he said that, so anytime there's a failed range play to first or third, okay, all right, or to the outfield, okay, you rolled a 1d6, and a 1 to 4 was a single, and a 5 to 6 was a double. You will no longer roll a 1d6. You will now roll a 1d20 for that. And a 1 to 4 is a double, and a 5 to 20 is a single. That turns the doubles from now, instead of a 33% chance of a double occurring on a failed range play to the outfield or past first or third, it's now only a 20% chance for a double to get past first, for a double hit past first or third, okay, or a failed range play to the outfield, okay. But of course, on a fly ball. So now you are rolling, okay, a D20 now instead of a D6 to find out if it's a double or a single. That's a big change. It'll take away some doubles on failed range plays. So now it's an 80% chance of a single, 20% chance of a double instead of 33% chance of a double and 66% chance of a single. Okay, so that is going to be a change, all right, to that. That is a 1d20, all right, instead of now a 1d6. Good to see you, Ben Witz. You're going to want to watch this from the beginning. Okay. He did make changes to some of the errors, okay? On the version 3 rules, Okay, on the version 3 rules, on error question mark and error on a grounder, an error on a question mark and error on a grounder, it was not an error. It was a speed check for the base running rating of the batter to see if he can get to first. The error on the grounder stays that way, but now error question mark is now an automatic infield single, but with a possible throwing error on the throw. So now only error on a grounder is a speed check. Error on a question mark and error on a throw is and if it comes up as an error, it's an infield single with one extra base advancement on a bad throw. Otherwise, everyone only gets one base total. So that is the change there. Also as well, okay, also another change. He was having issues with catchers not getting errors, okay? Because catchers, the only way a catcher could get an error, all right, was the only time a catcher can really get an error was off the ballpark card, because no batter cards have G2. Only the ballpark cards have G2. Okay, a grounder at the plate. None of the batters have any of that. At least he didn't see any at all. So now, all right, if there is, okay, you're gonna, anytime the catcher comes into play, you are rolling an error check. You are rolling an error check. So now if it's a grounder to the catcher, the number now is number 11. Check for error on all non-range G2 results on the ballpark card. If error, catcher boots ground ball, and all runners advance one base only. So now if you get a G2 of the ballpark card, you are rolling an error check, okay? If, of course, an error question mark comes up. Now, of course, they have an error question mark. Now, the thing about it is, of course, the error question mark doesn't send you the ballpark card. Okay, so now if you go to the ballpark card and and the G2 comes up, you're rolling to see if there's an error. Okay, you're now rolling to see if he makes an error. So now you're going to get more catcher errors, not just errors on a throw from trying to steal a base. Now you're going to get catcher errors from a normal play, and we know catchers do make errors. So now you're going to go ahead. Yep, sounds like a loophole being closed. Exactly. So now the catcher, okay, can make an error, okay, but every time a G2 comes up, all right, you're rolling to see if there's going to be an error. If it's not an error, the catcher makes the play and does what he's got to do. If it is an error, it's a one base advance and it goes as an E2. Okay, that's on a grounder. On a pop fly ball to the catcher, so it's a P2 to the catcher. Okay, you're still going to have a drop fly ball odd, but if it's a foul, okay, and you do a check on pop results on the ballpark card, okay. So now you got to go. So now if it's a pop fly ball to the catcher off the ballpark card or off the batter card, which you do have P2s on the batter card, okay, you got to roll to see if the catcher makes an error. And if he does, he drops it, and it's a foul ball. It's a foul ball, and you repitch. Okay, if it's a foul ball, it's a repitch. All right. Version 3 came out about 2.5 years ago. All right. I don't know yet, Mo. I can't answer that question. I don't know yet what's doing with the cards. But right now, version 4 will work with the cards you have right now. Okay. It's only changing. It's not changing the cards. It's changing a little the mechanics to get maybe a more realistic game or more realistic results. Okay, so that's what you're going to have here. An error on a throw is the same thing. So anytime a G2 comes up on the ballpark card, you're checking to see if the catcher makes an error. Okay, on a G or a P2 or anything like that, then now see if the catcher makes an error. I know for a fact I'll forget to do that because I've never done that yet, but that's what you're going to have there. Okay, so those really are right now the changes he has made to the ball game, to the charts for version 4. So once again, real quick, I'll go over them one more time. All right, just real quickly what he's made. You'll have to watch the video in full to get it. Okay, but changes he made, okay, were to to the pitchers. So now it's no longer a 10-19 on the strategy roll. It's now an automatic 6-19. He has changed the runner advance mods to from 4-2-1-3-5 to 4-3-2-3-4. So now you're not going to get an automatic score from second base on a base hit past the pitcher. He's got to have at least a little speed to score, okay, on a ball hit past the pitcher. He has changed hits from first to third. So instead of -2, -1 + 2, it is now -2, -1, 0. The only change was the balls hit the right field. He did not change anything else in second to home or first to home, as you can see there. Okay, so now it's only when the ball was hit the right field. It's not really an automatic guy from first going to third. He still has to have some sort of, on a ball hit the right, it's not going to be automatic like it usually is. Okay, the throwing arms, it was 2-6, 3-6, 4-6, 5-6, 6-6. It is now different. Okay, so now it is 3-6, 4-6, 5-6, 6 here, and an automatic play if he has a -2 arm. So if he's going to third or trying to score and the outfielder has a -2 arm, it's going to be an automatic play. Okay, if a 6 is rolled. All right, if a 6 is rolled. So that's what happens here on a -2. Remember, that's only if a 6 is rolled, guys. It's not an automatic play just because he has a minus. Okay, you still got to roll to see if he gets there, and he could. Okay, but if a 6 is rolled and it's a -2, it's an automatic play. There's going to be an automatic throw at the plate or an automatic throw at third. Wherever the ball's going. Okay. One more time, the sacrifice fly rules have been modified. So normally, a sacrifice fly was just whatever the sacrifice fly rating of the batter was. Now it depends on where it goes. So now you're going to have a sacrifice fly rating of +1 to left, +2 to center, and +1 to right. If it's off the sacrifice fly rating of the batter. If it still fails, you still try the batter. You still try the runner at third and the outfielder, accordingly. Okay. So you have that he's working on. These numbers can still change, of course. No more double play depth. Double play depth has been removed. So now, if there's any runners that can give you a double play, runner on first, runners at first and second, runners at first and third, okay, and it is hit to third base, shortstop, or second base, it's an automatic +1 to the double play rating. You no longer have to call double play rating, and no more -1 to range. So now if a ball is hit the shortstop, it's a range play, and the shortstop's range is a 4, it stays a 4. You no longer subtract 1 for range for double play depth. He has now removed that. So there's no longer a range check, a -1 to range at double play depth. If the infield is in, you still have the -2. But no longer a -1 to range if it's at the third, second, or short, okay, or the first for that matter as well, okay, because the rank cut or the first as well. So there's no more -1s to range on a ground ball, which can be a possible double play if it's a range play, okay. So you have that. He has increased the bunting ability, so now the bunting ability has been changed. It used to be 1-6, 1-8, 1-10, 1-12, 1-14, 1-16. It is now 1-10, 12, 14, 15, 16, and 18. You now have a better chance. At a bunt. The foul has been removed. There's no more fouls. He took that off, and now you don't have to worry about a foul ball on a bunt. You don't have to re-roll on the bunt chart a second time. Okay, you're going to get your result right here. Bunting for fielder, it used to be 1-2 pitcher, 3-4 first, 5 third, 6 catcher. It's now 1-3 pitcher, 4, 5, and 6 down the road. Because most bunts are hit to the pitcher anyway, usually. Okay, rarely it's hit the first, third of the cat. And the catcher, it happens, but it's not as often as he feels, so you have that. Okay, so the bunt ratings, the bunt now where the ball is hit to for bunts has been changed a little bit. Then, of course, there's the range plays. So range plays now, instead of rolling a 1d6 for a single and a double on a failed range play past S3, past first base, third base, or a fly out to center, to left, center, or right. You're no longer rolling a 1d6 because that gave you a 33% chance of a double, a 66% chance of a single. It is now rolling a 1d20. So now it's going to be 1 to 4 double and 5 to 20 single. So now it's only a 20% chance of a double on a failed range play and an 80% chance of a single, okay, on a failed range play. That's a big change right there. He's trying to loosen up a little bit doubles on failed range plays. Okay, figuring the runner can't always get to it, but he felt that there were too many doubles. And then of course he changed the catcher ability. Anytime a catcher card comes into effect, whether it's a grounder at the plate or a pop fly ball, you roll the catcher's error rate. If it's a ground ball, if it's a ground ball, the catcher, if it's a grounder, the catcher, the error comes up, he boots it, and the runners advance one base. If it's a pop fly ball, the catcher drops it. He's given an error, but it is a foul ball. It is not in the field of play. Okay? So pretty much, guys, that is the changes we have right now for this game. I will start utilizing it starting tonight because I want to see this thing in action, see what the differences, the changes are, and such, and we'll see how games go now. I actually agree a little bit with Jim Doyle here, but he said that apparently he got some new software that's been giving him some different results with his system, and he wants to make it better. And you got to give him. Let's talk about that for 1 second, real quick. He wants to make his game better. There are so many game companies out there that don't care. They got their engine; it's set in stone. That's all there is to it, and they're just going to go ahead and say, "Here's our baseball game. Enjoy it." Okay, and if you don't like it, if you don't like it, oh well. Okay, Chris Davis loves this game. He loves inside pitch. It's his bread and butter. He has all of his games, okay, and he wants to make it better. And yes, you're right, Mo. Changes don't necessarily make it better. Testing it is the best thing. I'm going to start testing it now live, okay? So I'll actually be playing tonight the first version 4 beta game. From now on, I'll be utilizing the version 4 rules. So you guys won't ask me, wait a minute, that was a -1 on a range play. No, it's not anymore. So now we'll know. And I'm gotta remember that myself. Okay? That's the only way to do it is to get it right. But he wants to make the game better. He wants it more real, more accurate. He wants it the way it is. Okay? And he cares. He took an idea of mine. Oh, another thing too. Let me see. I think he did this, and I don't think he mentioned it. Hold on. Yes, he took an idea of mine. Okay, and although he did take it from my idea, it actually came from you guys. Everyone said there were too many line-out double plays, and I agreed with you. So I mentioned it, and I showed him here. So this is the version 3 version. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all that. Well, here is the new version 4. He did not mention it, but I did. So now you're only going to, if it's hit the third base, okay, you're going to have only a 1 and a 2 to 3. You're not going to get a line out. If it's hit the third base, you're no longer going to get a line out, a double play at third base. Okay, you're no longer going to get that figure. And the reason why I told him about this one is because most third basemen are not holding a runner on. They're usually in the back. So if it's a line drive to third, I really don't think the third baseman is going to get to the bag to tag out the runner because that's the only way he can do that. He removed it. Okay, he kept everything, and he also from first base he changed this as well. Here you had 1 to 4 was an automatic line out double play, and then a 5 and a 6. Now it's 1-3 and a 4 and a 5-6. So now there won't be as many line out double plays if the ball was hit the first or third. He did keep second base in short, and he did keep the pitcher, but he did make my changes to first and third. I just felt on a ball hit to first, okay, a line out double play. The only way he gets that really is if it's hit right to him, and pretty much there's no way the pitcher can get over there and get to the bag on a line out double play. He has to tag the runner. He has to tag the runner. You can't. You got to tag the runner in order to get it. And I told him that, so we did lower that a little bit. So now instead of a 66% chance of the runner getting out, being tagged out at a line out on a first base, it's now only a 50% chance. And I agree with that. I think that's a little better. I actually think this should be a little lower. I think it should be a 1-2, a 3, and then a 4-6. But when the line out double plays come up, we'll see what happens, okay? So that is right now the changes. Right now, just the rules and charts. Right now, just the rules and charts are changing. If he's doing anything else, he hasn't told me yet. And I'd be honest with you, if he did tell me, I would not be allowed to tell you because he wants to keep things for a surprise. Remember, this is his baby. All right, this is his baby. Inside pitches is bread and butter. He does well with inside blitz, inside the paint, inside the crease, and of course the new soccer game, inside the net, and his golf and whatever. He does well with everything else, but inside pitches is bread and butter, and he wants to make the game better. He wants to make the game a little bit more realistic, a little bit more, accurate in terms of the mechanics. All right. There are some more things that I think he's working on, but he has not told me yet because he knows I have a big mouth. So if there is anything else right now, I can't tell you, but this is the changes at the moment to inside pitch. I wanted to do a quick video for everyone that does play inside pitch, that this will go ahead and make it, for those of you, these are not available yet. Only a couple of people have this information, me and Baseball Demos, because we're the two that actually play the most inside pitch on the net on YouTube as far as we can tell. Okay. Yep, got a big mouth. So me and Baseball Demos, and I also sent him these charts so he can test play, and I let him know that he can start now using this as well in his future inside pitch games if he wants to. We're gonna see this in action because we're gonna start this tonight with tonight's game. So that's all I got. That's all I got right now. And that's it. So as I said, Chris has given me permission to utilize this, and I wanted to show you some of the changes that have been made. And remember, it is still beta. That's why they're not available. Okay, it's still beta. He's still testing. He may make some more changes to this. He may make some more changes to that. Oh, I forgot. I almost forgot. My bad. I almost forgot. You're getting a second set of rare plays. I almost forgot. A second set of rare plays. A second set of rare plays. I almost forgot. You're going to get rare plays now, but in two fashions. You're going to get rare plays from a range play at the park, or rare plays that are just at the park. So now, you actually got to keep track of what kind of ballpark it is, or what kind of ballpark result it is. So if you now get an at the park, just an at sign, and it's a range play or rare play, you're using this and that. If it's a range play at the park, but it comes up a blank, you're using this and that. So if anything, he is giving you another full set of rare plays, whether it's a range play or a regular at the park. So now you're going to get some more rare plays. I've already looked over some of these. Some of these, of course, are still the ones he's used before, but he has created some new ones, and I'm not telling you what they are. You'll have to see them come up. So Yeah, I know. I got 19 people watching. The problem is that the reason why I say, guys, thank you for joining me right now. It is 6:52. I'm going to go ahead and set up for tonight's game here very shortly. Tonight we have the Mets and the Reds. I know Brian B will be here. So, and Tom Seaver versus Gary Nolan. So I just wanted to go ahead and introduce to you the new version 4 charts. Remember, they are still a work in progress. That's why they're not available. But now he wants me to test them in actual gameplay. Okay. He has tested them, all right, a little bit, but utilizing computer information and computer imaging, computer software and all that. It has not been tested yet, cards and dice. We're about to test this stuff at cards and dice. And what I'll do is I'll probably tell them there's a video to watch it, and we will see what happens. Anyway, guys, join me in about I don't know, 6:53. I usually start at 7:30. So give me about 45 minutes, and we'll start tonight's game. So to get things set up here. All right, everyone here, thank you very much for watching this video. It's actually a little longer than I wanted it to go, but version 4 is coming. All right. So thanks to everyone that joined me in the chat. And we'll see you in about 45 minutes for tonight's game between the Mets and the Reds for some Friday night baseball for 1969. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong. We'll see you guys in a little bit.